Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Mancuso, ready to do some Regents Chemistry review with you. Today is the June 2015 exam. So, if you do not have Practice Exam 7, if you can go on to New York State Regents Chemistry exams and open up the June 2015 exam, I will go over the exam with you. So what I do each time is I go through every question of the exam with you, and then I save the video. So the video will be uploaded if you go on YouTube and you search Nancy Mancuso, you will see me, and then go to playlists and go to chemistry review. So that's where I will put the video. So let's get started. All right, first question here. Of course, it's going to be about protons, neutrons, electrons. You guys, the goal is to get so used to what these exams are like that when you take the exam, you go, oh, I knew you were going to ask that. I knew you were going to ask that. I knew you were going to ask that. And you get really good at this. So first one, compared to an electron, which particle has a charge that's equal in magnitude but opposite? So an electron is negative, so I'm looking for positive, and positive is a proton. Next one, the mass of a proton is equal to, so a proton weighs 1 AMU, so 1 atomic mass unit. But I'm also going to show you over here, because a lot of times you don't really look at this table until the last unit of the year when you're doing nuclear chemistry. So here's a proton, and it has a mass of 1, and then another, oh my God, Danny, you're making me laugh. I love my job. I love my kids. I love teaching. I love everything. All right, over here, 1 atomic mass unit. That is what it is. All right, we're moving on. Which property decreases when the elements in group 17 are considered in order of increasing atomic number? So that means as you go down a group. So as you go down group 17, which property goes down? So the mass, no way. The radius, no way. Both of those are getting bigger. Melting point or electronegativity? So melting point, I could go look them all up, but as you go down, you're getting to be more solid, so it's not going to be melting point. Electronegativity. So electronegativity is the ability to attract things to it, and as you go down a group, the larger and larger the atoms become, so it's harder and harder to attract electrons to it. So electronegativity will decrease as you go down a group. All right, any substance composed of 2 or more elements that are chemically combined in a fixed proportion. They just gave me a perfect definition of a compound. All right, so like H2O. It's always H2O. That's my fixed proportion, and it has 2 different kinds of elements together. All right, which term refers to how strongly an atom of an element attracts electrons? So that's what I was just explaining up here. The attraction is called electronegativity. At STP, which substance has metallic bonding? So when they do this, just look for the metal. Ammonium chloride, barium oxide, iodine, silver. Silver is the metal. All right, next one. What is the number of electrons shared between carbon atoms in a molecule of ethine? Ethine ends in YNE. I could go over here and check if I'm not sure. You go to table R and you look up the YNEs, and YNEs have a triple bond. So a triple bond, each bond has 2 electrons shared. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons are shared in ethine. All right. Which atom in the ground state has a stable valence configuration? That means it has to be a noble gas. So I need to go over here. Sorry, trying to set my phone down. All right, I need to go over here, grab my reference tables again, and I got to look for the noble gas. So AR. There it is. So I'm looking for the one that is in group 18. Those are my noble gases. They end, helium ends in 2. The first orbital only has 2. The rest of them have 8. So these have 8 valence electrons, full octet. All right, what occurs when 2 fluorine atoms react to produce a fluorine molecule? So if I have 2 of them coming together to make one, remember barf. So broken, absorbed, released, formed. So when I'm forming a bond, I release energy. So energy is released when a bond is formed. Again, that has come up now 7 for 7 exams. Which gas sample at STP has the same number of molecules as a 2-liter sample? So if I want the same amount of gas, I better have the same size container. So I pick the 2 liters. All atoms of uranium have the same. So uranium is number 92. That means it has 92 protons. They all have to have the atomic number 92. All right, concentration of a solution can be expressed in. So again, I feel like all of these questions came up the very last time we did that, and that's just because this is our 7th Regents exam. The more Regents exams you do, you guys are really just gonna really score high on the exam if you really practice these. So go over here to concentration. I'm either looking for parts per million, mass of solute over mass of solution, or molarity, moles of solute over liters of solution. So no, there it is, moles per liter, that's molarity. All right. Compared to the boiling point and the freezing point of water at 1 atmosphere, a 1 molar calcium chloride solution has a, all right, I have to do this, bloop. That's what happens. Here's normal freezing, normal boiling. If you add in something that dissolves in water, it bloop, goes like that. My boiling point just went up, my freezing point went down. So higher boiling point, lower freezing point. According to the kinetic molecular theory, which one describes an ideal gas? So ideal gases want to spread out. So diatomic, no. Energy is created, no. No attractive forces, yes. There's no attractions, which is why they spread out a lot. And then you don't want this one. The distance between gas particles wouldn't be small, it would be large because they're spread out. All right, which physical change is endothermic? So endo means you're adding heat in. That means I want to go up the curve. Solid to a gas is going up the curve. Liquid to a solid is going down the curve. Gas to a liquid is going down. Gas to a solid is going down. So I had to pick the one that went up because endo means you're adding heat to it. Which group 16 element combines with hydrogen to form a compound that has the strongest hydrogen bonding between the molecules? So to have the strongest hydrogen bonding, I want to pick something that is really polar and really strong because it's going to have strong charges. So my choices are H with O, S, Se, or Te. So the greatest electronegativity and the greatest charge would be O. So oxygen. All right, hydrocarbons are composed of the elements. Oh, well, they gave me the answer. Hydrocarbon, carbon and hydrogen only. Which atom is bonded to the carbon atom in the functional group of a ketone? So if you're not sure, go over to table R, find ketone, and what's bonded to it? An oxygen. 2 types of organic reactions are, so addition and sublimation. Well, to sublime means to go from a solid to a gas, so that's just a physical change. It's not an organic reaction. Deposition is like making snow, the opposite of sublimation. Now I'm going from a gas to a solid. Decomposition, to evaporate, is just a physical change. Again, here we go. Esterification and polymerization are both organic reactions. All right. The isomers butane and methylpropane have. All right, so butane is going to be C4H double it plus 2. So double 4 is 8 plus 2 is 10. Methylpropane, a 1 plus a 3 is going to have also C4H10. So they're going to have the same molecular formula, but they're not going to have the same properties because this has a branch to it, so it has a different structure. So isomers have same molecular formula, different structural formula, which gives them different properties. So same molecular formula, different properties. In a redox reaction, what particles are lost and gained? Well, oil, Rig. Oxidation is losing electrons. Reduction is gaining electrons. So I want electrons. What's the oxidation state for an Mn atom? Oh my goodness, you guys, do not be tricked. If it's an atom, it doesn't have a charge. No, no, no. Yes. If it is an atom, it is at 0. That's why when we write our half reactions and you go and you put the oxidation state on top of things, when they are alone, you put a 0 with it. All right, which ones are electrolytes? If it's an electrolyte, it's got to be an acid, a base, or an ionic salt. So, KNO3, that's ionic. H2SO4, that's an acid. So that's my answer. And if you look at the other ones, CH3OH, that's an alcohol. CH3O, CH3, that's an ether. That's an ether. These are organic things, so I don't want those. Which compound is an Arrhenius base? All right, so an Arrhenius base is a metal plus an OH. So not that, not that. There we go. Calcium is a metal, OH. It's an OH donor, so it's got to have a metal with an OH on it. According to one acid-base theory, a water molecule acts as a base. So this is the other definition. 2 definitions for bases. You could be Arrhenius, where you're a metal and you donate an OH minus, or the other one is when you accept an H+. So here's our pH scale. You've got the most H pluses down here at 0. You have the most OH minuses down here at 14. If you're a base, you make it go this direction. So if you take H's away, you go this way. So it has to be an H+ acceptor. All right. Given the equation representing a system at equilibrium, as soon as I read the word equilibrium, my rates are equal and my concentrations are constant. So, which statement describes it? The concentration decreases. No. Concentration constant. Yes. All right. The acidity or alkalinity of an unknown aqueous solution is indicated by it. So, if you want to tell how acidic it is or how basic it is, that's by the pH. A laboratory process in which the volume of a solution of known concentration is used to determine the concentration of another solution, that's called a titration. And if you're not sure about it, you can go over here because it says calculation. So a calculation is on the back. The lab process is called a titration, and there's the formula. MAVA equals MBVB. All right, which list of nuclear emissions is arranged in order from the greatest penetrating power to the least? All right, my greatest is going to be a gamma. So a gamma is like an X-ray. It goes right through. And alpha is the worst because alpha is super heavy. So I want gamma to come first and I want alpha to come last and beta's in the middle. All right, given the diagram representing a reaction, what type of change? All right, I started with this big uranium. I fired a neutron at it and I split it. So splitting is fission. All right, you have to start with a large nucleus and split it. Woohoo, people, we are rocking right through this. That was the end of part A.